So we've just heard the news about that study on special educational needs and disabilities and why the number of children with those continues to go up here in Gibraltar. So what are your first thoughts on that study?
I think the release of a study such as the one mentioned today is only something positive. I think it will shed a lot of light on how neurodiversity is actually multifactorial, and it's not just down to one specific element, but rather a multitude of elements. I think it will bring about, well, firstly, awareness. And it's awareness that can then bring acceptance. And from acceptance, we can embrace understanding and knowledge, which then gives the platform for information, power and progress. So I think that we're moving in the right direction with a study such as the one released today.
And what do you think something like this will achieve? You've mentioned some of the findings we could get out of it, but perhaps more in terms of awareness for the community, what might something like this achieve?
I mean, we've already seen in the not so distant past, or future, the diagnostic pathways having been improved. And I think a study such as the one again released today will improve that and increase the facilities and resources even more, shed light on what is actually required. Perhaps through a study such as this will even give way to the increased therapies that the community are advocating for. It will give increased insight as to what factors should be looked into as well. As I said before, it's multifactorial, so we should look at elements such as environmental factors, genetic factors, etc. But I think the findings should be used constructive, and if they are used constructively, what we can then do is break down the ableist air that often surrounds the talk of disability and neurodiversity. We can empower the neurodiverse community, and we can really progress onto equitable platforms, which is what is required in our community, I think.
Now, of course, in your work at the Special Educational Needs Facility, you must come across a lot of cases. Do you have any sense or idea as to why that number continues to go up? Why are we seeing more people diagnosed with these things?
Again, as I said, and I have to repeat, that it's multifactorial, and I'm not in a position to make a clinical or therapeutic finding or conclusion to that. But in my position at PossAbilities, again, I would say that whatever the impact is on neurodiversity, whatever is increasing those numbers should be embraced. Yes, we look into it so we have more understanding and knowledge, but we grow from what we're learning, and we just advocate for further provision.
We also heard the Chief Minister in his budget address yesterday highlight that he wants there to be no difference between mental and physical health. He really wants to bring those two together. Do you think those with special educational needs and disabilities should be included in that bracket?
I think neurodiversity should be given the attention that it requires and that it deserves in its own right, such as mental health and physical health also need. And I think there will be an intersection at some point, but I think that they each carry their own weight in our community, again, to create equitable platforms for the empowerment of each study, for the empowerment of each demographic in our community. So again, I think we just need to evaluate them independently, find where that intersection is, and then grow from that also.